just to give everybody a sense of that. Nice. So we are recording, and I will share this recording with you, as well as share the slide deck at the end. Again, my name is Daesh Bagley. I'm the director of the SCF Coding Academy at SCF Bradenton. I'm on the second floor of 26 West. 26 West is State College of Florida's Center for Advanced Technology and Innovation, and we have a ton of fun in this building. Coding Academy has 3D printers, laser cutters, vinyl cutters, tons of laptops and MacBooks, and anything that one would need to help become familiar with careers in information technology. We have 3D printers. We have artificial reality and virtual reality equipment. So we have a lot of fun. We help students earn their industry certifications for those who are hoping to upskill, enhance their resumes, start to look for jobs in the IT sector, and they simply need a certificate to get there. And we also offer boot camps. And I think that's why you guys are here tonight, to learn more about the software engineering boot camp that we have, which is hybrid, meaning you can take this boot camp completely online, or you can come in person, or you can do like most of our students, and you can do both. Those that are doing both choose to take the classes from home on Tuesday, Thursday nights, and then come to campus on Saturdays, because Saturdays are all day, and we'll talk more about that. And then some come on campus for most of the time. This will be our first boot camp in which we are letting our participants know that if they want to take the boot camp completely online, that is okay with us. We've seen some terrific results from students who are doing industry certifications completely online, and our highly motivated students understand their own schedules and their own capabilities, and they've been really good. So we're opening that opportunity up to our bootcamp students as well. All right, I am going to start to share my screen. And again, thank you guys for being here. I do have some videos that I want to show. So if at some point I'm sharing my screen, but you can't see it or you can't hear what I'm sharing, please be sure to let me know. All right, cool beans. The first video that I would like to share with you is one that comes from one of our industry partners. And I like to share this video at the very beginning because we believe that our secret sauce has to do with the fact that we help you network. I've read many a person saying, "Oh, I'm learning the code on my own. I'm doing this on my own. I'm gonna do this." And I think to myself, I wonder if they're gonna get a job on their own too. I wonder if they're gonna do this on their own and then get a job. Because what I've discovered is the more you know, the more people you network with, the more opportunities that you have to meet folks in the industry. That's how you end up getting your jobs. And we think that's our secret sauce. So here is the first video. Let me know if I'm sharing.
That's really the main reason.
Yeah, that's probably the best reason of them all. So we have this school up in Bradenton, State College of Florida, and they have this 26 West, which is pretty interesting and exciting. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your efforts and your team's efforts at 26 West, because you've been asked to come back.
Yes.
That's always a pretty good indication that it was good, right?
Yep. So the coding, it's called the Coding Academy up there at 26 West. So it's a program that people go into. You can be coming right out of high school, going into college, or you could be reinventing yourself in a new career. And it's saying that you want to go into the IT space. So this Coding Academy gets them ready to program somewhere. And my team came to us and said, this is this program. We're trying to get more experience in IT into the community in Sarasota, which from my perspective, for over many years of just struggling with trying to find talent when we're ready to hire new people, I thought how awesome the program was. Like we need help with this. And so I got with, her name is Daesh over at SCF, and she's awesome. She was super.
oops.
We're excited when we said that we would volunteer, and I asked her, like, what do you need from us? What could we do to help the program? And she said, well, I thought I'd want to do mentors. And I said, well, I would guarantee you, I'll put it in front of my team. I'm not going to make anyone do anything, but I'm going to ask my team, do you want to give back to the community, help us, build the IT talent here in Sarasota? And I went and we had our IT meeting, and I said, there's 5 students. Can I get 5 people to mentor? And if we don't, I was going to be one of the mentors because, make sure everybody had one. Right away. I had more mentors ready than, yep, right away. Everybody stepped up and said, yep, I'll do it. And so they meet with the student twice a month for 30 minutes at a time. And they can kind of create the rhythm with the students. So it's not necessarily a set amount of time. And they each do it on their schedules and figure out what works, because some of the people that they're mentoring are already in the working world. They have their own jobs from 9 to 5, so they can't necessarily meet either in the middle of the day. So the team's even gone above and beyond, meet them at night, like, oh, can we meet at 6 so that I can do it after work, and they do all that. So that part has been really great. The mentors, we've gotten great feedback from the students. And like you said, the feedback was so great that Daesh came right back and said,
well, you did the keynote.
Yes.
The first one, right?
Yes.
And you're going to do it again?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So I did the keynote for the first, they call it demo day. So it's basically all the students show you the work that they've done throughout the Coding Academy. It's like their whole, look at what I've learned throughout this Coding Academy, which is really, really neat, to see it. Because especially, when you're done with school, you don't normally have something to show somebody except for here's my certificate that I finished. They're actually showing all the coding that they did during the programs, the websites, the things that they were able to create during the program. Neat. And so they do that, and then after they were done with that, we all went into a lunch, and then I gave the keynote speech to the people.
I saw it.
Yes, I shared it. I shared it.
All right. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint here. Let's see if I can get myself back. And I'm hoping that you guys were able to see that and hear Janelle speak. And if you weren't able to see that, let me know. I think Janelle's testimony about our Coding Academy program and the mentorship program speaks volumes for how much State College of Florida's Software Engineering Bootcamp is valued by community partners. They've said that they wanted more software engineers in our community. They said that they would help us to prepare our students to be the best that our students could possibly be. And Janelle and S1, they are just one example of how our industry partners are doing that. And we'll talk some more about Demo Day that our bootcamp students are a part of, which goes right hand in hand with the networking opportunities that you're getting that most of the time you just don't get on your own. There's another video that I want to show you guys, but I'll come back to that one. Because typically during a session like this, most folks are really just thinking, how am I going to pay for this? Daesh, I've seen your webinars. I've seen your website. I saw that the boot camp cost $9,900. I've talked to Christy. Christy is our success coach. Christy said that it's $7,500. What is it exactly? Let me start by saying at State College of Florida, we believe in a quality education. And we also believe that it's costly. We know that, right? Degrees cost money, boot camps cost money. When you're investing in anything, and especially when you're investing in your own career transition, it's going to cost some money. But does it really have to cost $17,000? Does it really have to cost $20,000? If you are a person on this call, and if you've looked up boot camps, if you've done your due diligence and you've researched what a boot camp is, you will see that there are lots of companies offering boot camps in which it is in the tens of thousands of dollars. We feel as though we can offer a quality boot camp with excellent curriculum, mentorship, and networking at a cost that can be affordable for our students. It's not going to be cheap. It's still a pretty penny at $7,500, but we feel it's affordable. So what we typically do when you come to us and you say, I'm interested in learning more about your software engineering bootcamp, we immediately ask you to apply for funding. We have grants from the Florida Department of Education, from the Department of Economic Opportunity, and from some other industry partners and donors, we have funding that we're able to give out. If you qualify for that funding, then it reduces the cost of your boot camp. One of our largest donations has come from the Open Door Grant. And you're going to see that on our website under funding. It's called Open Door Grant. If you are unemployed, underemployed, or furloughed, you can qualify, and you're a Florida resident. I should put that in there. You are a Florida resident. Then you qualify for a $3,000 scholarship. We pay for your industry certifications. We give all of our students financial aid to help pay for your industry certification test that you have to take. And therefore, because you are either unemployed, underemployed, or furloughed, you qualify for this $3,000. At this point, your boot camp becomes $4,500 for the 6 months. A lot of boot camps will ask you to pay up front. They do not care about your experience per se. They want you to pay the entire amount up front, and they accept your money. We also require that you pay up front, but we put some mechanisms in place to help you do that. A $500 deposit is required up front, and then you enter in what's called a payment plan. The payment plan allows you to divide the remaining $4,000 payments over 6 months. The other option is we partnered with lenders, and our lenders are so confident that our students are going to get higher paying jobs that the lenders don't require the loan to be repaid until 3 months after the boot camp ends. You might choose to make interest-only payments. You might choose to defer the entire amount until the end of boot camp, and 3 months later is when your first amount is due. I looked at the lenders and I looked at their interest rates, and I got to tell you, those interest rates for the loan you would be taking out would probably be about $4,500 because you'll have your scholarship and you'll just include your deposit within your loan. So you probably be taking about $4,500. The interest rates are somewhere between 10% and 15 to 16% based on your credit score. And to me, 10 to 15 to 16% is still quite steep of an interest rate. But I thought to myself, the reason why it's important for the Coding Academy to enter these partnerships is because many students are putting this debt on their credit cards. And the credit card interest rates for a lot of our students are closer to the 20%, 21%, 22% area versus the 10 to 15. So I want to put that out there, that we do have partnerships with lenders. And then at the same time, in our community, at least, we have Career Source Suncoast. Career Source Suncoast does offer scholarships for those students who qualify, who are eligible, that can help pay toward your boot camp experience. And the Coding Academy is on the list for Career Source Suncoast. After you meet with one of their counselors, you go through orientation, they get you to provide the necessary documentation. You actually might qualify for a Career Source Suncoast scholarship. So there are several things. There's our scholarships, there's loans, and then there are the payment plans that we've worked hard to put in place for you to make this as affordable as possible. Our team is here to help you explore your funding options, and the best place to start is with this Apply for Funding button. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. So then after people hear how much the boot camp costs, they start to think, well, what's the schedule? What is it like? What's my time commitment? And this is really where Christy and I and the rest of the Coding Academy team, this is where our heart lies. We want to help you get over any financial barriers. We do not want money to be a factor in you not being able to do this boot camp. So we will try to help you with the financial barriers. But when it comes to the time commitment and the dedication and the hard work and the effort that you have to put yourself through to get through this program for 24 weeks, that part is on you. That part is what you have to commit to, saying that I realize if I make some temporary sacrifices, there can be some long-term gains for myself, for my family, for my lifestyle, for my career satisfaction. There can be some changes, but those changes won't happen without a serious commitment of time and energy. The bootcamp is 24 weeks. We start on March 20th. most of you will probably want to start really considering if you want to do this in February, because there is pre-work to be done. So you set aside some time to get your pre-work done, and that's on your own, at your own pace. You just got to be done by March 20th. The pre-work is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I think I read your mind. I read your mind. What's the pre-work, Dash? The pre-work is going through some HTML, CSS lessons and going through some fundamentals of JavaScript lessons. On your own time, get it done when you can. Then from there is the real boot camp starting March 20th. Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a live instructor giving the lectures. So the instructor is covering what you've seen in your curriculum. We're going to give you the curriculum. You're going to be working through that curriculum, getting assignments done, and the instructor is going to be elaborating on what you're learning in your curriculum. The instructor is going to be providing a deeper level of understanding. They're going to be explaining some complex concepts. They're going to ask you to do some practice problems. They're going to ask you to better explain the vocabulary. They're going to be reinforcing what you're learning through our curriculum. That's Tuesday and Thursday nights, 6 to 9. And then pretty much all day Saturday, it's either going to be 9 to 3 or 10 to 4 or something like that. All day Saturday, you're asked again to come and work with the instructor. Typically on Saturdays, the instructors are meeting with you one-on-one in a Zoom breakout room, whereas before they're doing all of the live instruction. On Saturdays, it's part instruction, and then it's part, let's meet one-on-one to see how you're doing, see how you're keeping up, make sure you're retaining what you learn, and make sure you're able to speak the words, speak the vocabulary. It is like learning a foreign language, and sometimes people are intimidated when they have to think about sharing their technical skills with others. So every week in the boot camp, our instructor is saying, all right, let me hear you say it. What did you develop? Or I developed an array. Well, what's in your array? My array is filled with objects. Excellent. And what are these objects supposed to represent? The objects are going to represent A, B, C, or D. And I'm using integers, I'm using characters, I'm using strings. Oh, I have to write a loop. And I'm writing this loop that's going to be a callback function. Inside the callback function will yada, yada, yada. And it sounds like I'm speaking gibberish, right? But by the time you're done, you're going to be fluent. And that happens when you attend class 90% of the time, which is the requirement that you be in class 90% of the time. Sometimes I say this and people email me or call me later and they say, oh, but I can't make it on Tuesdays. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Our boot camp won't work for you. Oh, Dash, do I really have to come on Saturdays? My child has A, B, C, or D. Oh, I'm so sorry. I too have 5 young adults that I've raised, but there were times when for a short period of time, I had to get some outside help to help me with my kids while I went to school and pursued my degree, my computer science degree. So I had a child, I was working on that degree. I had a child, I was working on that degree. I had a child, I was working on that degree. And with those 3 kids, I finally finished that degree, but I couldn't have done it on my own. I had to get some people in my life to help me, some people in my life to help with the kids, to help with the house, to help with other things that were going on, because I couldn't do it on my own. So you're really considering for yourself, for 6 months, can I find somebody to support me, my kids, my family, while I focus on empowering myself to have a better career? That's what you're asking yourself. Some of those folks might come along with some funds to help you pay for boot camp. Some of them might come along with some time. We have one graduate, one boot camp completer who just finished, and her mom watched her little girl, her mom watched her daughter for the mornings while she studied. And then after she tucked the baby in, then she would go back to studying. But her mom had to seriously commit to helping her for 6 good months because she needed it. She wouldn't have been able to do it without her. And when she had her completion ceremony, when we were all celebrating that everybody finished, she gave a biggest shout out to her mom to say, I could not have done this without you. I really needed you, and I needed your support in this. And it was very moving and touching. But it's live instruction, and 90% attendance is the key. Now, the classes are held online. So in my mind, you guys sort of get a break, because for the previous boot camps, I made them come to class. They were in the class. They were sitting in the chairs. They were fighting traffic. I gave them snacks though, y'all. I always have snacks. I have snacks, I have coffee, I have Mountain Dew, I have Coke. I have things that, well, I should say Pepsi. Thank you, Pepsi. Pepsi is a sponsor. I have Pepsi, I have Mountain Dew. So I gave them snacks to keep them going, but they were required to be here in the classroom with me. Studies have shown that more of you can really be productive online in your own environment. So we're going to give it a chance. We're going to give it a shot. And so if you're able to just attend only online, I know some of you are calling in from Miami, some of you are in Tallahassee, some of you are in Port Charlotte. So you're not going to be coming to State College of Florida to sit in a classroom with me. But if you can make it on a Saturday, we'd love to see you. We want you to be able to balance your education with your other commitments. But I got to tell you, in the beginning, when you're first starting boot camp, that scale is going to be a little off balance, because that Sunday night football, Monday night football that you're accustomed to, we're not doing that anymore. The video games that you play with your friends and the cooking that you love to do. Oh, I just love to cook. I spend all my free time cooking and making recipes. Nope, there's no more time for that. It's a serious commitment of time. Somebody said, fun? What's fun? I read a meme recently of a person who had joined a boot camp, and they had a little meme that it said, they said there would be sleep. Somebody said there would be sleep. I'm like, no, there's no sleep. It's kind of interesting, because when the dean of lifelong learning hears me talk this way, he said, Deish, I thought you do these webinars to recruit people to your program. And I say, I do want to recruit people to my program. I do want them to be a part of the SCF Coding Academy. I think we can change lives. Heck, we have changed lives. I think we can do it for the highly motivated learner, but we can't do it for the person who doesn't put in the time. So I just like to be very clear about that, because it's either $7,500 if you don't qualify for the scholarship, or it's $4,500 if you do. But either way you look at it, it's a lot of money. And I don't want to take people's money if I can't follow through on the promises that we make of helping them be prepared for the jobs that they want. Our team is, of course, here to help you navigate the schedule and make sure you're prepared for class each week. So if that means something happens to your computer at home, then come on over. We got computers here. If your internet goes down, or if something's happening with electricity or whatever else, come on, we got you. There's always a place for you to study, morning, noon, and night. We are here Monday through Saturday. Most of our classes happen at night, so I'm typically here until 9 p.m. The cybersecurity bootcamp that we offer doesn't finish until 11 p.m., so we are here at 11 p.m. a lot of nights. And then on Saturdays, we're here. We're not here on Sundays. That's a day of rest. I hope you guys do get to have a little bit of rest at least. And no, we don't want you to spend every waking moment thinking about coding, but I will say, writers write, singers sing, coders code. If this is going to be your career, then you're going to be coding, even when there's no assignment due. It's just going to be something that you enjoy doing. And I still do it. And I don't even have to code anymore. But I see somebody working on an assignment. I'm like, oh, what are you working on? Oh, they wanted us to write this code to do blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, let me see. I think I could do that real fast. I think I could do it, because it's fun for me. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to ask questions in just a second. I'm going to just sort of get through this next one. Before I get to next steps, hang on a second. I'm going to go back because I want to show you another one of our secret sauce opportunities, and that's demo day. That's where you get a chance to showcase what you've learned and why that matters.
Hi, I'm Peter Ofringa. I'm on the Board of Advisors for 26 West, and I'm here at the SCF Coding Academy, and excited to have watched the demo day and seen several examples of some exciting work that the latest cohort of students have done. What I've found with students coming out of boot camps, like the SCF Coding Academy, is that they have very practical experience, and they're immersed in a program that's focused on the tools and the technologies and the best practices that they'll need in order to be immediately productive in a software engineering position. And in some ways, I find that to be even more important and better prepared for the type of roles that we need to fill within modern enterprises. Additionally, I think what's exciting about students who go through a boot camp program is that they've opted into it. They've sought out the program. So as a hiring manager, not only are we looking for someone with strong technology skills, but we're looking for someone who's motivated. We want to know that if they take a position within our technology organization, they're here to stay, that they're motivated and that they are excited about starting a new career. And I've found that those are the type of employees who actually we can more easily retain. They're more excited about learning new things and about advancing their career and really making a contribution because they've generally transitioned from a different field into technology and are just very thankful about the opportunity that they've been given.
Cool. All of those people that you saw, that video was made with our first cohort. Since then, I forgot to stop the, we should stop this so that it doesn't interrupt me. All of those people that you saw were from well, not all of them. Most of them were from the first cohort that started last March of 2022. They are now working as software developers. They're getting paid in some form or fashion to be a software developer. The second cohort, you saw just a quick image of them standing as a group. They graduated in December, and they are now in the process of getting their LinkedIns updated and putting out their resumes. 3 of them have had interviews with our industry folks, and 2 of them have found contacts that they are really excited about. So we have people that help you with your resume. We have people that help you with your LinkedIn, and then we have people that spread your resume around and help you get connected. That's the goal. It's not just learning those technical skills, but it's also having somebody who has your back, who can spread your name around to help you get the job you want. So we have a great track record of helping people. Our third cohort of bootcamp students started in November. So they are literally in class right now. I'm in my office and they are in the classroom right next door, and they're going through React. They just finished phase 1 with JavaScript, and now they're into React. They're going to write their project and have a portfolio of a second portfolio project. And then when they come back in 2 weeks, they're going to be working on Rails, and Rails is the back end. So they've done JavaScript, they've done React, and now they're going to be working in Rails, and it'll be like, what, February, I guess, when they start that, and they started in November, so they're halfway done, and we're super proud of them. The next cohort we have starts in March of 2023. This will be our 4th cohort, and it just keeps getting better and better as far as what we're offering, as far as what the community knows we can provide. And now we have Christy, our success coach. So Christy is here full time to help make sure that your questions are answered and that any barriers that you have financially or time-wise can be eliminated. She tries to help you with your schedule to make sure that you have enough time in your day to get things done. So what's your next step? If you haven't already looked at our website, coding.scf.edu/coding-bootcamp, then do that. Look at that. Look at our website, look at our bootcamp, and compare it to the other bootcamps that you're researching. If you don't know what it means to be a front-end or a back-end developer, if you're not quite sure what full stack means, if you're like Dace, you're saying words like JavaScript and React, what does that mean? I'm going to tell you to go on Indeed.com, go on a job site where they're showing you jobs that are available, and put in your city and your town and put in React, R-E-A-C-T developer, put in full stack developer, put in front end developer, back end developer, and see the jobs that are coming forth. You might even put in their entry level and see the jobs that are coming forth at $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year for junior developers. The jobs are there. And if you like what you see on our website, and if you think our program could be a good fit for you, then give us a call. Set up a call with Christy Mata, our success coach, 941-752-5290. Grab some time on her calendar, or just email coding@scf.edu and say, hey, I was on that webinar with Dace, your director of Coding Academy, and she said I could just shoot you an email saying I'm interested in learning more, and do that. Our meetings typically take place via Teams. So we set up a Teams virtual meeting to get to know each other. If you're local, we invite you to come on out and take a tour of our facility. If you are not local, we are really we're really interested in knowing the industries where you are. So we get your zip code, we figure out where you are, and we start making connections with industry partners where you are. We have quality curriculum. We have hands-on training. You are going to have a portfolio filled with projects by the time you are done. You are no longer going to be stuck. We're going to have structure for you so that by the time you finish, you have something to share. We have funding options, and we are confident that you'll be prepared for a successful career, yes, in cybersecurity, but also in software engineering. So take out cybersecurity for y'all. Put in software engineering, and that's exactly what it is. We think you'll be prepared for that, and those are your next steps. And don't worry, I'm going to share these slides with you as soon as we're done tonight. I'm going to look at your email addresses to see who's here and just email this out to you so you'll have these links. So that's the end of that. Let me stop sharing for just a second and see if we have questions. Q&A. Yes, good to see you again too. How many hours of studying will it be each week? It's 17 hours outside of the classroom is the average that we've seen. 17 hours outside of the classroom. So I hope I answered that question. So you're spending 6 hours, so 3 hours, and then 3 hours Tuesday, Thursday, and then another 6 hours on Saturday. So that's 12. And then outside of the classroom, you can count on about 17 hours. Good question. What's another good question? And feel free to unmute. Is there anything I did not cover that you were interested in learning? On our website, it talks about all the curriculum, the JavaScript, the JSON, Postgres. It talks about the back end, the front end, the fact that we're working with React and Ruby. Good. Who can qualify for the scholarship? The Open Door Scholarship is open to those who are unemployed, underemployed, or furloughed. The big question is always, what does underemployed mean, Daesh? And I always, the state does not ask us for any paycheck stubs. They don't ask for any tax documents. I don't have to ask you for any of that. I simply get to ask you a few questions. Do you feel as though you're making a living wage in which you're being paid what you know you are worth? And if you had additional skills, could you be paid more than you're making now to enhance your livelihood? And if the answer to that question is yes, then congratulations. Florida resident, underemployed, and you're willing to take the industry certification at the end of the boot camp, which all of our students take that industry certification at the end of their boot camp. The 2 cohorts that have finished thus far, every single one of them have passed their industry certifications. And of course, the Coding Academy specializes in industry certifications. So 80% of our students pass those industry certifications anyway, but the boot camp students have 100% pass rate. So that's the scholarship. And if you're wondering, well, what is that link? If you just go to our website, coding.scf.edu, under funding, there's the Open Door Scholarship, and you should apply for that. As part of the funding options, do other grants or government loans work with this, such as the Pell Grant or the FAFSA program? Unfortunately, no. We are non-credit, and federal grants such as Pell or FAFSA only work with 4 credit programs. When you talk to Christy about your education and career goals, she very well may refer you over to the credit side of the house. If you've already started working on a degree and you're this close from getting your degree, Christy may say, hey, go back over to SCF on the credit side and use your Pell Grant dollars, use your FAFSA, use your veterans benefits, because we also do not take veterans benefits. Use those benefits and finish up that degree. So when Christy is talking to you, she isn't necessarily trying to recruit you into our program to fill our programs. She really wants to help you do what's best for your education and career goals. So let her know, say, let her know where you are as far as academics and FAFSA and Pell Grant and all that good stuff. Good question. Good question. Nice. Well, this has been wonderful chatting with y'all. I'm gonna send you guys the recording of this. I hope to see you in our upcoming March boot camp. That thing is going to be fire. It's going to be so much fun. We have a great time. There's a good bond among the students. They get to know each other. They're all in Slack, cracking jokes and sharing memes and talking about how hard it is. And yes, it's hard, but then they talk about how they did it, and yeah, we did it, right? We celebrate together. So it is a journey, but it's a fun journey. And at the end of it all, when you're working and you're on LinkedIn saying, thank you, Coding Academy, thank you, Christy, thank you, Daesh, then Christy and I just feel like proud parents. We're like, yes, they did it. They did it. We want you guys to celebrate, and you're going to be celebrating on LinkedIn and on social media. Good. Good question. Good question. And then when do we start to accept applications? We're starting now. You apply, you interview with Christy and I. We give you an assessment. Actually, before you even interview, Christy gives you an assessment. 3 things for you to do just to see if you got the chops for coding. She gives you those assessments. And then after that, we interview you. You interview us to see if we're a good fit for you. And from there, we move on to the pre-work. You put down your deposit, you make your funding arrangements, and you start your pre-work. And then we are all ready to rock and roll on March 20th. That's our goal. It doesn't matter to us if we have 4 students in the program or if we have 10. We are going to max out at 12. We're not going to have more than 12 students in our boot camp. But we can have 4, and we're having a boot camp, and we're getting folks some jobs. Are y'all good? Awesome.
Hey, Daesh.
Hey, Philip.
How soon after this meeting are we able to, start working with Christy and getting that assessment done?
If you email her tonight, coding@scf.edu, let me think. On Saturday, Christy's off tomorrow, but on Saturday, she will email you back and say, Philip, I got your open door grant. It looks as though you are, you qualify for open door, because that's what you're going to do, right? You're going to fill out that funding application. And then she's going to say, you qualify for that open door, $3,000. Here's your assessment. Start taking that assessment. Let's say you get that email from her on Saturday, you get that thing done on Saturday and Sunday, and you email her back on Tuesday. We're off MLK Day. You email her back on Tuesday and say, okay, Christy, I got your little assessment done. Now what? She says, congratulations. You're going to have an interview with Mrs. Daesh. You're going to have that interview with me as quickly as possible. Then you interview me, I interview you. We know each other from a previous course, so that's kind of—
Yes, correct.
So we're going to talk about if that's a 24-week boot camp, high motivation is going to work. And if you say yes, we get your funding together, you start on your pre-work.
Awesome, thank you. And will her email be included after?
If you email coding@scf.edu, that's the email she's checking.
Awesome, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Good questions. Good questions. It's a fast process. Christy does not play around. It is the thing that slows it down is just you guys. If sometimes the JavaScript exercise, that thing we ask you to do, doesn't always work as well for some people's computers than for others. And so we have to work through those kinks. But once you do that JavaScript exercise to show that you have a good propensity for success with a coding bootcamp, then we have your interview. Interview is short, 30 minutes. You interview us, we interview you. We ask you about how you've persevered in the past. We ask you, how do you do hard things? We ask you, how do you work well with others? We say, tell us about a time when you really didn't think you could make it, but you pulled through. What did you do? We want to know if you can withstand the 24 weeks of craziness that's going to happen in a boot camp, because there's a lot of information coming at you real fast. And we got to make sure you guys can do it before we put you in that program. And then you're going to ask us questions. You're going to say, Daesh, what's your retention rate? What's your job placement rate? How are we meeting these people you keep saying we're going to meet? And I'm going to tell you about our speaker series and our mentorship program. So you're going to ask us questions too. and we're going to help you interview. We're going to give you interview skills and interview techniques and technical interview skills. Every time I'm online and I see somebody say, oh, you can learn to code all by yourself in 24 weeks, I just shake my head like, really? Really? That's so not right. It's so not right. And maybe those programs are free, but unless you are a truly highly motivated person to really go out there and make those network connections and get it done and have a portfolio and showcase yourself and prepare for the technical interview and know how to answer those questions all by yourself, I think it's just much better to invest in yourself and get the results you're looking for. All right, cool. I'm going to stop recording right now, and I'm going to thank you guys very much for joining us. This has been a pleasure. Have a great night. We hope to see you at the Coding Academy soon.